What if I told you that everything you think you know about Saitama's invincibility is about to be completely shattered? That the bald hero who's been ending fights with a single punch for 3 seasons might actually face something that could make him sweat for the first time since losing his hair? And no, it's not what you think it is. Hold on to your seats, because One Punch Man Season 3 just dropped the most jaw-dropping revelation that he's got the entire anime community losing their minds. But then something happens that makes your blood run cold. Have you ever wondered why Saitama became so ridiculously overpowered in the first place? Season 2 started introducing cracks in that facade, showing us glimpses of his inner emptiness and the psychological toll of being too powerful. But Season 3 is where the real story begins. Sure, we've got his laughable training routine explanation, but what if there's something darker lurking beneath the surface? Both characters share an obsession with strength, but their motivations couldn't be more different. One isn't just giving us another powerful antagonist for Saitama to punch. He's creating a philosophical battleground where two opposing ideologies about strength and heroism are about to collide. For the first time in the series, Saitama's expression changes. You came here expecting epic fights and comedy, but you're getting a deep character study disguised as a superhero story. The real genius of Season 3 lies in how it's handling Saitama's character development. The boredom, the detachment, the casual dismissal of threats, it all suddenly makes sense when you realize what he's been unconsciously searching for this entire time. Garou becomes the catalyst that forces Saitama to confront parts of himself he's been avoiding. The hero hunter isn't just trying to become the ultimate monster, he's trying to prove that heroes are frauds. What if his strength isn't just a result of his training? What if there's something more fundamental at play? We learn more about how monsters are created, how heroes develop their powers, and the mysterious force that seems to govern the balance between good and evil in their world. That strength without conviction is meaningless, that the world needs a clear enemy to unite against rather than false idols to worship. It might be something else entirely, something that connects him to the very fabric of his reality in ways he never imagined. The parallel narratives create this incredible tension where you are never quite sure who the real protagonist is supposed to be. Every punch Saitama throws is a statement about his worldview. The way they animate Saitama's micro-expressions, the gradual transformation of Garou's appearance, the sheer scale of the monster association he's threaded all comes together to create something that transcends typical superhero storytelling. Every battle Garou wins is a step further away from his humanity. The answer is both simpler and more complex than you might expect. And for the first time since the series began, Saitama might actually lose. He doesn't find an opponent who can match his physical strength. Right now, all we can do is watch as one continues to deconstruct the superhero genre one punch at a time, building toward a conclusion that promises to redefine everything we thought we knew about strength, heroism, and what it means to be human. Instead, he finds something far more dangerous, a mirror that reflects back all the questions he's been avoiding about himself. The question is whether he'll recognize it when he does. The physical combat becomes a metaphor for the spiritual struggle both characters are experiencing. Without spoiling too much, there's a scene where he encounters something that genuinely surprises him. What if being the strongest person in the world isn't empowering? What if it's actually a form of cosmic punishment? What if Saitama's journey isn't about finding a worthy opponent, but about finding his way back to humanity? We're watching a debate about the nature of heroism, the responsibility that comes with power, and the question of whether someone can be too strong for their own good. Not a strong opponent, not a clever strategy, but something that hits him on a level he hasn't experienced since becoming the One Punch Man. Sure, he can still one-punch most monsters, but the real challenges are emotional and psychological. He's forced to work with other heroes, to witness genuine heroism from people far weaker than himself, and to confront the consequences of his detached approach to hero work. For 2 seasons, we've watched him struggle with the mundane problems of being too strong. But now, the series is asking a much deeper question. What happens when someone who's removed himself from humanity through power suddenly finds himself forced to confront what it means to be human? Not boredom, not mild annoyance, something else entirely. Picture this, you're watching the latest episode, expecting another typical Saitama beatdown where he casually destroys a city-level threat while thinking about grocery discounts. It's a carefully orchestrated examination of what happens when an unstoppable force meets. Well, we'll get to that part. But before we dive into that bombshell moment that's got everyone talking, let me ask you something. The new season introduces us to Garou, the hero hunter who's been systematically taking down heroes left and right. But here's the kicker: Garou isn't just some random villain with a grudge. He's a mirror image of Saitama, but walking down the opposite path. See, most fans have been so focused on the comedy and spectacular fights that they've missed the subtle clues one has been dropping since the very beginning. The author isn't just creating a parody superhero story. He's been building towards something massive, and Season 3 is where all those carefully planted seeds finally start sprouting. Think about it. In Season 1, we saw Saitama's overwhelming strength as pure comedy. The Monster Association arc isn't just another villain of the week storyline. Here's where things get interesting. While Saitama accidentally became the strongest hero through sheer determination and probably dumb luck, Garou is deliberately crafting himself into the ultimate monster through pure willpower and hatred. And this is where the storytelling gets absolutely brilliant. But wait, there's more. The Monster Association arc puts Saitama in situations where his overwhelming strength isn't the solution. This is where the series starts playing with your expectations. Now, about that moment I mentioned earlier, the one where Saitama's expression changes. It's a moment that recontextualizes everything we thought we knew about his character. And Garou, the philosophical depth here is staggering. We're not just watching a fight between good and evil, but here's where Season 3 really starts cooking. The series begins introducing concepts that challenge everything we thought we knew about Saitama's power. The Monster Association arc starts dropping hints about the source of supernatural abilities in the One Punch Man universe. And Saitama starts to realize that his power might not be the blessing he thought it was, or the curse he assumed it was. The genius of this season is how it slowly peels back the layers of comedy and action to reveal the existential horror underneath. As we watch Garou's transformation from human to monster, we're forced to ask whether Saitama made the opposite journey from human to something else entirely. The fights in Season 3 aren't just spectacle, they're psychological warfare. In the animation, Studio Mappa has outdone themselves in capturing not just the incredible action sequences, but the subtle emotional beats that make this season so powerful. So, will Saitama finally meet his match in Season 3? The real battle isn't against monsters or heroes. It's against the existential void that comes with being too powerful to connect with anyone else. But that's a story for another day. The question isn't whether Saitama will meet his match.